Right, ladies and germs, it's time for the late night boxing talks. Post the link for the people on Twitter. They can jump on real quick. Late night boxing talks starts now. Late. I wrote night 2 times. I'm sleepy. Alright, hold up. Alright, let's go. Alright, everybody. So I seen Jake Donovan tweeted that Demetrius Andrade has made the decision not to fight Zach Parker, which doesn't come as a surprise to me because the winning bid for this purse bid was a lot smaller than the first time out. The first time out, it was a $1.8 million bid. This time, it was only a little over $300,000. And that means that what Demetrius likely would have got was $200,000, if that. Initially, what I thought is that he was just winning the bid in order to secure the rights or whatever. But then I saw that nobody else bid on the fight. Nobody else wanted it. It was Goody J, was Goody Julio. Nobody else bid on the fight. Nobody else wanted it. So that put Frank and Queensbury in a power position to where, like, listen, bro, this is the pot. This is what we got. We don't have to pay you anything more than what's in this pot. So you can take the fight or you can not take the fight. And he decided not to take the fight. He's really painted himself into a corner. I don't know. See, I'm kind of torn when it comes to the whole thing. I was Goody Candace. I'm kind of torn when it comes to the whole thing because my thing is this. None of this would have had to happen if you would have fought Yanni Bekalimkanulai. You see what I mean? Why is that light flickering? Let me find out. I'm going to have to get a new one. Yeah, I might. None of this would have happened if you would have fought Yanni Bekalimkanulai. And for a guy who people try to sell as this guy that Canelo is so afraid of, this guy that Canelo is, oh my God, it's Demetrius. Bro, you can't be a boogeyman or sell me a boogeyman that got to go through all this over no Yanni Bekalimkanulai and over no Zach Parker. You know, those is fights that you supposed to go in there and mess the dude up and keep it pushing. That's if you are what people say you are. And I don't think that Demetrius is a bad fighter. I've never thought that. I've always thought he's a very good fighter with a very pesky style that could give a lot of guys problems. I would have picked him to beat Jermall Charlo. But it's like you're overselling him. You know, you're overselling him. You trying to make him seem like more than what he is when you know what, if he was what you say he is, you would have just fought Yanni Beck, you would have went to Top Rank and you'd have been like, listen, I want 1.5 for Yanni Beck. I'll fight your boy, I'll fight him. And we can do that. If you like your chances, that's how you handle that. Because like I said, you had leverage as the reigning champion, as the reigning WBO champion. Yeah, you had leverage to at least go to Top Rank and say, yo, look, I want 1.2, 1.5 for the fight. You can't go in there acting crazy, because if you go in there acting crazy, talking about 2 and 3, well, ain't nobody trying to give you that, bro. You need to be real with yourself. But if you go in there and you tell them, yo, I want 1.2, bro. That's what I want. All right? I want 1.2, and you call Eddie like, listen, I just want you to make it look like you're going to bid on the fight. That way they got to play ball. I just want you to make it look like you're going to bid on the fight, and it's that and the other. I was goody, hot boxing minute. Rod was good. Dirty was good. Michael was good. You know what I mean? But see, that's my point, Julio. That's kind of my point. I'm going to open up the chat to the panel. We're going to get right into it. That's kind of my point. That the way that he acted, which is why I thought that Yanni Beck would beat him, it's because of how you acting. It's because of how you treating it. You treating it like Yanni Beck is Mike Tyson or somebody. You treating it like Yanni Beck is Joe Frazier or somebody. Like, bro, that dude don't even got 20 fights. Then he had 20 fights. And it's not supposed to be this difficult, fam. You get the dude out. Who mic is that? If y'all got mic issues, man, sort that out.
Sort that out. What's up, Julius?
Nothing, man. Just chilling. And I'm like, yo, You ain't supposed to go through all this extra shit over no damn Yanni Bekalim Kanula unless it's what I think it was. That dude was gonna beat you. And that's the real reason. That's the real reason you went through all of this, because that dude was gonna beat you. And you knew it.
Julius, you gotta give him the benefit of the doubt, though, man. He didn't want to end up like Jermaine Taylor, man. This is called fraud 2.0. Don't sleep on Parker, man.
Yo, listen, all I'm saying is you can't sell me, right? Si esto es lo que yo estoy diciendo. I think I've always thought Demetrius
we lied. Hold on, let me get the
was
camera.
goody, bro. I've always thought Demetrius was a good fighter, but I never thought, Canelo
Your boy right here.
Oh,
that's Steve Film.
if you're ever in LA, you got to join us for the boxing roundtable, man. Look who we got here: Jerry Casrez, managers of the stuff. Manny Robles.
We got Manny and Robles in the
Oh
spot.
shit, Manny Robles.
Oh, what up, y'all?
What up,
crap!
right here.
Holy shit!
John
Holy shit!
Yes.
So
Real shit out here, yo.
yes, it's exclusive stuff. We'll have some exclusives for you, Jules.
I got you. So we getting into this Andre talk, and it's like, if you really a boogeyman, or if you're as good as they say you are, you're not supposed to have to go through all this over a Yanni Bekalim Kanulai fight, bro. You supposed to get that out the way if you are what they say you are. But I see how you treat the fight, and that tell me everything I need to know. You acting like you about to die if you fight this man. So you throw your belt in the air, you give up all your leverage, you don't have no leverage no more, and you about to do this Zach Parker, and look at what they did to you. It's hard for me to feel bad for you in that situation, because I'm like, damn, son, all you had to do was just fight that Yanni Beck dude, and that's it, fam. Get that motherfucker, get that dude off your back, and that would have been it. But I guess you felt that you couldn't do that. Candace, do you feel bad for the situation that Demetrius is in, that now he ain't got no belt at middleweight? He done walked away from the fucking Zach Parker fight. Do you feel bad for this dude?
Hell to the no, I don't feel bad for that fool.
Mm.
He been wanting for that Canelo. You just wait for that Canelo check, man, and doing after all that waiting. You're in the same fucked up position as Jamel and everybody else, man. You just want the check. That's all you want.
I agree.
They're just trying to catch their to the highest bidder. That's all it is.
Polo, do you feel
Call
bad?
girls. That's what they are, man. They're not but fucking call girls. They want to give up their asses to the highest bidder.
Right.
Yo, that's what we gonna call them. They the call girls. They the call girls. Polo, you feel bad for that dude though? Polo, do you feel bad for that dude that, like, you see how it all worked out, that he gave up his belt. Now Yanni Beck has the shit now. And he not gonna fight Parker because the damn pot ain't but $300,000. There's no money in the fucking fight. Do you feel bad for him?
Not at all, because the same ones that were saying it's not about the money, it's about the legacy. Well, what the fuck?
That's true.
Yo, hey, Julius, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Say this what if scenario. Say John Ryder steps up, right? Whoops Parker's ass. Canelo ends up fighting Ryder, right? And then a year later, Johnny Beck moves up and is like, all right, Canelo's like, give me Johnny Beck. I'll whip him like Triple G. That boo-boo, that he ducked boo-boo, that shit dies, bro. If he ends up fighting Johnny Beck and fights the guy that beat the man that you pulled off.
Pero mire, espera, porque tú sabes quién quiere John Ryder, Edgar Berlanga. He's calling him out.
He needs to go fight a Fredo Angulo or Kid Chocolate or fucking whoever, man. John Ryder will whoop his ass, man.
I would be happy if John Ryder whooped his ass. Polo, Jay, do you feel bad? Do you feel any pity or any sympathy for the situation that Andrade is in? Because you know what's crazy? He's an unbeaten 2-division champion. You know?
Yeah.
It's weird to see that situation.
Yeah. Nah. I thought about it. I don't pity him at all. I don't feel sorry for him. He did this to himself. Because, for what it's worth, when the fight was first announced, I didn't know much about Yanni Beck, hadn't seen him, but I was confident Demetrius would get the job done. He was my pick in the fight. But as time went on, I saw more and more Yanni Beck, and I saw Demetrius's energy about the whole thing. It's like, you don't want to fight this guy, bro. You're swerving this dude. You afraid. No, I don't
And
like
I made
Pride.
it. Listen, and I
that's
made
what's,
excuses for him too. I said that. Look, well, and not excuses, but I didn't attack him. I'm like, look, the dude is 34. It's not easy to make middleweight anymore. If he wants to move up, I understand because the Yanni Beck fight is not a big fight anyway. I gave him like a chance, and now I'm like, look, bro, look.
Now you
Man.
pulled out twice, and it's like, see, an ideal situation for me. What I would have liked them to do is like, I'm not really. I kind of don't like it when fighters vacate their belts, then I fight the mandatory challengers. It's a bad look overall. You know, I mean, so I would have liked him to take care of Yanni Beck first, fight him, win or lose, who cares? And if you beat him, then you vacate, move up to 168, and pursue other opportunities. That's what I would have liked for him to do.
That's the same shit I was about to say. That like he, the way that the situation was handled, it's almost like, oh, it's either or, when it's not either or. Defend your belt against Yanni Beck, hang on to it because you need that belt to become a super champion to go fight Zach. Just take care of this guy. That's all you got to do. Take care of the fucking guy. You didn't want to take care of the fucking guy. You tried to skip the guy because you thought the Parker shit would be easier. And I don't know. It must have dawned on him that, the Zach Parker kid ain't no bitch. You know that, right? Like, don't think just because he was some low pale Englishman that he can't fight. He big, he's strong, he's unbeaten, and he goes to the body. It's almost like he didn't realize that.
Carl Froch 2.0, man. Maybe he realized, oh shit, this is the coming of Carl Froch 2.0.
I mean, because y'all Styles Styles make fights. That's the kind of Styles make fights. So honestly, like looking at Yanni Beck, I know he looks like a killer, but he hasn't really beaten anybody of note just yet. Like honestly, who's his best win on his resume? Like,
man,
really,
listen, I would say it's Rob Brandt.
Yeah, okay, and honestly, I pick a Demetrius Andrade to easily beat a Rob Brandt, if I'm being honest. I mean, so like, if the fight actually had happened, yeah, I mean, but if the fight actually had happened, I could see Demetrius honestly just schooling him with his awkward style.
You know what the weird? Listen, don't even say nothing. Listen. This is the weird shit. Demetrius has the style to beat that dude. Like he has it.
Exactly.
Like you have the style, the length, and the experience to beat this fucking dude. But you treated this shit like it was Jaws or some shit. Like no, like bro, beat the fucking Yanni Beck dude because he doesn't have a lot of experience, right? Beat that fucking dude. Hang on to your WBO so that you can revisit the Zach Parker fight. No, you chucked it like, no, fuck that shit. I don't want to. Like, fam, if you like your chances, this is my mentality. If you like your chances against the dude, right, that like you confident, like, nah, I could beat this dude and I'll fuck around and get some money. Man, I'm going to go to Bob and call Moretti. Listen, I'll fight your boy for 1.2. Can y'all give me 1.2? Y'all can't give me 1.2. I give me one then. Give me $1 million. I'll beat your boy.
That's fair.
Yo, AJ, I gotta ask you something. What's Boo Boo's best wins though? We're saying he got the stall, but Gennady Beck only has less than 12 fights, and look at Boo Boo's how many 30-some fights.
That's a fair point. That's a valid point. That's
true.
Yeah.
I think, look, if I tell you his best wins, you gonna laugh. If I tell you,
Jack Coquet, that is Martin.
Hey, Rob Brandt will whip both of their asses the same night. So I'm saying, if you look at Johnny Beck's best wins, they beat Andres. But so I'm saying, we go off the eye test. Like, Boo Boo's not really a proven guy either. We've never seen him against.
But see, that's what I'm saying, Polo. That I'm like, yo, this is what irritates me. Stop acting like Canelo has something to be afraid of in Demetrius. Demetrius is not a bad boxer. I've never thought that. Like, a lot of people trash him. I didn't. All I'm saying is, y'all prop this dude up like he really, really, really scary. No, he not no scary. Fuck is you talking about? We got Boxing Wave in the building. My fellow Harlemite in the building. Ow!
Yo, Jules, what's up, man?
Man, look, this month, first time I had Boxing Wave, the privilege of having Boxing Wave in the building, and this is my thing, Wave. I have actually had sympathy for Demetrius. I have. I feel like I've given him more passes than a lot of people. But I'm like, fam, if you would have just fought that dude from Kazakhstan, you could have used that if you liked your chances. You could have used that to get some money. You go to Bob, like, yo, Bob, let me get $1 million, and we do the fight. How do you feel about it? Do you pity him?
Yo, I've been doing videos on Andre for almost a decade. And at some point, it's not just a coincidence when stuff just doesn't fall your way.
That's
It just at some point you gotta take the blame. At some point you gotta do it. Like it's been a long time of just the wrong direction over and over again. Like, you know, I feel bad in the sense that he's so talented and we never really got to see it. And you know,
Agreed.
but I can't blame. I heard your video on it, and I agree with you 100%. Zach Parker is not an easy fight. So if you go to 168 and if you beat him, at least he'll get you a position. If Canelo's still holding the belt, you'll be the mandatory. So I understand the move. But yo, you go up there, they don't pay you no
I got
money.
a question. I want to go around the panel with this. I'm gonna start with Wave. Wave, be honest. Do you believe he was injured?
Nah.
You don't believe he was injured?
Nah.
What about you, Leo? Do you think when he pulled out of the fight the first time that Frank won the bid, when it was for 1.8 mil, do you believe that Demetrius was injured?
No. He's playing games. That's all it is.
Once he called out Eubank, I knew it was something else. Like
I agree.
Once he did
agree.
that, I was like, nah, it's too soon.
I do agree with that because he said, he said he had an injury. They never said what it was, right? And I know that, they ain't going to put the dude's social security number on boxing scene, right? Nah, they not going to do that. But you got an injury. What kind of injury? How long it take to recuperate from that? Did you have surgery? What kind of injury is this? And when can we expect you to return? Because usually we get an ETA. When Canelo Alvarez got injured, they told you what it was. They told you what the recovery time was. So, Demetrius, you pulled out of the Parker fight with a shoulder injury. And I'm be real, I didn't believe he was injured. Polo, did you believe he was injured?
Fuck no, man, because how the fuck you injured, but you calling out Chris Eubank? Talking about, don't be like that, bro. Come on, bro. They offered you a lot of money, bro. So I don't know. And he was going to fights and doing interviews like that. I don't know. Someone that's injured can be, quiet. I mean, they could go to fights, but it didn't look like he was injured, man. The way he was talking and after the rock bottom calling Chris Eubank, so shit.
Let me ask Candace. Candace, when he pulled out of Frank won the first purse bid for this thing, right? And he won it with a bid of $1.8 million. So Demetrius was going to make decent money, at least a lot more than the second purse bid. But he pulled out injured. When he did that, did you believe he was injured?
Not really. I really don't believe that. But me, I said, but I'm not the kind of person like I'm gonna give him a benefit of the doubt. And people said maybe he was injured, but other than that, it's like I don't believe that shit. Because like you said, if you was really injured, I mean, your doctors would have said, "What's wrong with you? What's the recovery time and all that shit?" Your doctors and all that just went like radio silent. They didn't say nothing about your injury or nothing like that.
Now I'm gonna pass it back to Wave. Before I pass it to Wave, here's the funniest thing. Right around the time that he pulled out injured, he showed up to the Spence versus Ugas fight. He didn't have his arm in a sling. I didn't see shit about no injury. So that's why I came to the conclusion that, nah, fam, you playing games. Yeah. So with all these things happening the way they did, Wave, what he gonna do now?
I really don't know. I think out of all the situations, because he's not gonna have the belt no more, right?
He don't have it. He gave it to fucking Yanni back.
Yo, I said this even when it came to Haney with that email belt. I said, yo, whatever you do, don't let go of the belt because nobody's really going to have a reason to want to fight you. So now that Andrade is even in a worse situation, like you can't fight nobody at 160 or 168 now because you have nothing to offer them. You can't even say like, yo, I'm trying to unify or I'm trying to go undisputed. You don't have nothing. No one is going to want to fight you now. And you're not even with Eddie anymore.
That's like the most that he could do.
I said that the other day. Eddie, you're not even with Eddie. Eddie could at least.
But Eddie might fuck with him. He might fuck with him the way that. Remember that Danny Jacobs was going to fight Joe Smith Jr. Then all that shit fell apart. And then he went back to Eddie. Eddie got him the John Ryder fight. But he lost the John Ryder fight. So maybe if Eddie will fuck with him. I just don't know what Eddie could make for it. Like, what he gonna make for you, bro?
I don't know, man. I feel like every opportunity he just fucks it up every time, man.
That's
It never
fact.
fails. It's like I want to like him, and it's like, he'll just fuck it up every situation. Yo. It's like destined to be. The only situation that he didn't fuck up was the Saunders situation.
Yeah, like we can't blame him for that shit. We can't.
That's it. But we're not gonna live on it forever.
That's why I wrestle with it, because it's like, look, you pulled out that Jermel Charlo fight, and you did pull out that Yanchenko fight, but it's not your fault that Jermall didn't want to fight you, and it's not your fault that Billy Joe Saunders used whatever the fuck he was using, right?
Right.
So it's like, yo, some of this is your fault, some of it is not. But I'm like, look, I'm just a customer at the end of the day. I'm not your fucking guidance counselor, bro. I'm really not here to hear all that shit. At the end of the day, you either fighting in fights that people want to see, or you not.
And every fault he has, there's another. Everything that happened to him that's not his fault, there's another 3 things that you can say that is his fault, because he is the one that got stripped of his WBO title at 154. Nobody told you, you wanted the Canelo fight, but nobody told you to just not be active.
That's true. That's
you
true.
know, in the Matt Corrible situation too. Like, bro, you could have held 2 titles you had 160 and 154, both WBO straps. It gives you more leverage to look for more opportunities. He messed that up too.
Man, his promoter requested that. His promoter requested for him to fight for the vacant title. And then he didn't want to fight Andy Lee either. People forget. And then Andy Lee.
Yeah, that too.
Let me read these 2 super chats. Drew says, with Steve Kim, shoot the link when you go live. I hope you're enjoying that steak. Cali Mexican says, someone said I fought the same amount of champions as Andrade, and I never went pro. Julio says, 2 of the best channels out there. Appreciate you, Julio.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's like, I'm not like, I sympathize in the sense that, like, I know that there are sometimes situations that are hard luck cases where a guy, he just seems to have the worst luck. But when it comes to Demetrius, not all of it is luck. Not all of it is bad. Like you said, I'd rather fight Jack Colquet than Lara. Bro, who the fuck? Beating Lara held more weight. If you would have fought him and beat him,
a real champion. Bro, the thing is, like, if you look at the timelines, he beat Willie Nelson. Okay, that was a good win. You became the mandatory to the Charlo, one of the Charlos, right? Then he goes to Germany to go fight Kokolet. So what the hell? Like, you couldn't have fought. Like, it doesn't make no sense. You forget that he was the mandatory and he chose to fight Kokolet. And for a regular,
yes, he was by way of the WBA. I didn't forget, by way of the WBA.
And he looked terrible in that fight.
He didn't fight a mandatory?
He was Lara's mandatory, bro.
Wow. No. He was Charlo's mandatory, and he had
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lara,
and he chose. I believe it was a WBA, wasn't it? Polo, wasn't it a WBA regular title for the Colquet fight? It was some kind of It was some kind of secondary belt.
Yeah, it was a regular belt. He went to Germany to risk, getting robbed and less probably instead of fighting Lara. And after that, that's when he left Showtime and then fucking fought. I don't know. He went ghost for a little bit and got stripped of the regular belt too.
All right, we got my man Q in the building. Q, we're talking Andre, we're talking hard luck, we're talking pity, and whether or not we have it. Do you feel bad for the current status of Demetrius Andrade's career? Do you feel that where he is now is a self-inflicted wound?
Oh, man, most definitely, man. I mean, he had a chance to, decide his fate moving forward for the next couple of years. And ultimately, I mean, he didn't drop 1 bag; he dropped 2 bags. Mm-hmm. I mean, he at least I don't know what the offer was. I don't even think they even got their purse bid for him to defend his WBO title at middleweight. But I mean, I would assume he would at least made about $750. I would have assumed, and then he goes up to 168. The purse bid goes to Frank. I mean, I know that wasn't an ideal situation, having to go to the UK for a fight against a home fighter, but I mean, he was at least guaranteed. What was it? Was it 60-40 or is it 70-30 on that split?
It was like 60-40. And remember,
the
pot wasn't a bad pot. It was 1.8 million.
1.8.
That's a lot. Yep.
So I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you've been chasing Triple G, you've been chasing Canelo, you've been chasing Charlo, Jamal, I should say. They didn't want to fight you for whatever reason there was. You got to go with the next best option. I mean, he tried for 3 years to get fights with all three of those dudes, and for whatever reason, they had other things going on, which they're above him on the pecking order, so to speak, as far as notoriety, as far as fanfare, stuff like that. So, I mean, you got to go with the next best option, and
I do agree with that.
Did that.
Because, see, I've always looked at the situation in a similar spectrum to Floyd and Thurman. Thurman, you wasn't fucking important, bro. I don't like all that revisionist history. Suck my dick. I was watching boxing back then, bro. Nobody gave a fuck about Keith Thurman. The right fight was the Maidana fight. Why? Maidana beat Broner, all right? Maidana was a somebody off of that. Thurman wasn't nobody. So I always thought of it like that. They're like, look, I get it that you want Canelo, but that dude is doing shit, bro. Like he doing shit. You got to find something to do, bro. You can't make your whole career about two people that don't give a fuck about you.
Julius, can I ask you a question about that?
Go ahead, bro.
Some people talk about Andrade chasing the fights against Canelo, against Charlo, and against Golovkin. I want to ask you, why is that? Why those three guys?
Money.
This is the thing. For me, Andrade, every time the Ruiz don't go low as the rewards, Andrade tries to play hardball every time. And situations you don't have to do it. If you want to keep being relevant, you have to keep fighting.
Exactly.
The people that is there. And for Canelo and Golovkin and Andrade, I think for me, Golovkin, Doc, Andrade, Charlo.
For me too. I'm with you on that. Wave, how do you feel about that? Do you feel that Gennady Golovkin ducked Demetrius Andrade?
Oh, when we say duck, like I don't know. Like normally on my usually when I make videos on ducking, it really depends on what they were doing at the time. So if we can name a specific, because I know what's here's
the thing, Wave. There's a year in between Zeremata and Murata.
Yeah.
Remember, Gennady fought the Polish guy, sat out the whole year after that, didn't fight. Demetrius still had a belt at that time.
Oh, you're talking about recently? Oh, okay,
yeah.
Recently, yeah. I was saying that Gennady should have fought him, especially because just to become unified. Like, what are you sitting around doing? And I think we can see now that he was waiting for Canelo, but you fought Murata, who I don't know. I mean, Murata fight was probably more money. So
no, it was indefinitely.
Murata was more money.
One thing to this too. I'm sorry, my man. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I was gonna say on the strength of like, yo, what are you sitting out for a whole year? And you got two other champions in the division. Like, let's make something happen.
One of them was on his side of the street, which is why for me it was definitely a duck. I cannot make excuse. It's a duck, bro. If you wanted another belt, it was a guy right there. You didn't have to wait for Murata. It was a guy right there, but you didn't want to have to work for the bread. So you waited for Murata because you figured, man, this dude, he been out longer than me. I'm going to wait for him.
Because Murata has lost a couple fights too. I mean, even
one was controversial. One was controversial, and one was the Rob Brandt fight.
But, when he originally asked the question, who's Triple G's old coach?
Abel Sanchez.
When the questions was asked back in the day, Abel was always on some, no, he's not fighting those two. I don't know why. Never had interest in fighting Andrade or Jamal Charlo in past, and I'm talking about like years back. But that's why I answered that way, because I was trying to figure out like at what point we talking about. The most recent, I think that Triple G should have definitely fought at least one of those two.
Let me go to Q. Q, do you feel that Gennady? I don't put Gennady up there with Canelo because there's 10 people that want to fight Canelo, and I'm one of them. And You know, a guy like that has a full plate. Come on, be real. That's just like when Floyd was like, no, fam, Khan won him, Thurman won him. But Gennady, you wasn't doing nothing. And you had a belt, and he had a belt, and y'all both with Matchroom. Was it a dub?
Yeah, man. I mean, towards the end, for sure. Right after, I think it was right after the pandemic hit, and y'all said he fought the Polish dude to get the cobwebs off. Triple G, I'm talking about. I think there was definitely a window of time in there after they had postponed the Murata fight where he could have fought Demetrius. But my thing is, and this is kind of what my question was, and I was wondering about this as y'all was talking. What's a bigger duck, though? Because I definitely think Triple G avoided him. I mean, he had a reason to, right? I mean, he had the Canelo fight basically lined up. They've been begging him to fight Canelo for 3 years since he signed with DAZN. And he finally realized, okay, this is the best option I got left for the rest of my career. But my thing is what's a bigger duck, Triple G or Munguia? Demetrius. Because
I would say Munguia. Munguia been ducking whole division.
Yeah.
He skips a whole division without competing for a title. That's a duck, dog.
And they could have made that fight. Like, you got to think about it. Munguia has been at middleweight for about, I think, 2 years, right there with Demetrius. And they rather have you fighting Gabe Rosados and I can't even remember some of the people that he fought because he has been fighting, but I don't remember their names.
They just put him in there. They put him in there with Cerrometa.
Munguia was Andre's mandatory.
He was no. See, that's the thing. He was number one, but he never asked for the mandatory. But I still consider it, bro. You was his mandatory because they never made him officially the WBO interim champion. So technically, he wasn't. But he was number one. He was number one. So he was
only never the mandatory because he didn't ask for it. They literally told him, if you want the shot, we'll give you the shot. And you know how Eddie roll. If he knows that one of these fighters is going to make more money on somebody else's card, he gonna let him go over there and make the money.
Facts.
I believe that was a similar case with Triple G too, where he was ranked number one with the WBO. He just didn't take the fight. Him and Tawks didn't.
I mean, if we being honest, the whole 160 division, the fact that Eubank, Munguia, Charlo, Andrade, like none of these dudes fought each other. That's crazy to me.
That's another duck. That's another duck. Charlo and
that's crazy.
And you
that's the testament. That's the testament to how trash 160 is. 160 to me is the worst division in boxing.
It's the worst now.
Nobody fights nobody. Nobody. Yeah. Charlo don't fight Andrade. Andrade don't get to fight Munguia. Fucking Munguia don't want to fight shit. Gennady don't want to fight shit, even though he the only motherfucker that unified. But still, fam. If you like, this is why I call it a duck. If you like your chances against Demetrius as much as you like your chances against Murata, you would have squeezed them in. It's a whole year that you didn't fight nobody. That could have been your one fight, because you were old man. You can't be out here getting lumped up too much. But you didn't fight shit. You preserved yourself and saved yourself for that Murata fight. Because you must not have thought that Demetrius was easy. If you would have thought he was easy, you would have fucking fought him.
Jules, can I ask a question?
Wait, let's be honest. I like Triple G. I am a Triple G fan. But let's be honest. That Murata fight should have been a contender.
Yes.
Murata should have been a contender fighting for Golovkin's title, not a unification fight. The guy hadn't fought in how much? 2 years? 2 years being a champion and not defending his belt.
Insanity. Yeah. If he didn't remember how it happened, Leo. Canelo had the WBA, vacates all the belts after the IBF strips him because he can no longer become undisputed. Murata was elevated to champion, and I guarantee you, if he didn't have the amount of fanfare in Japan and the amount of money he has behind him in Japan, they wouldn't have elevated him to champion. They would have made him work for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would have made him work for it. Like, no, who the fuck are you? Mahu? Mofongo? Mondongo? No, you got to fight, bro. We'll find somebody for you to fight, bro. They just gave it to him because they knew it's a lot of money behind this kid. He's an Olympic gold medalist. They might not know him in the West, but he got crazy fanfare in the East. So here's a belt. Look,
2 years. He was elevated elevated to champion, and 2 years without defending his belt, going to unification fight.
But they'll be all over motherfucking. They'll be all over. Who was it? Manny. They was all over me. Like, no, son, you got to give up that belt. You got to give it to Ugas. Gave it to Ugas.
What was the reason? What was the reason they gave for stripping him?
Oh, he was out too long. He was out too long. Let me read the super chat. Jake Paul fought more world champions.
Oh shit, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Motherfuckers is on fire tonight.
Wow.
Motherfucking Will said, all due respect, but I agree with you. If you can't fight the best, fight the next best thing. It's to fight everyone else. The fight game is brutal, and the only way to survive is to adapt to the times. Yes, adapt or die. And I don't think Demetrius adapted. Leo made a very valid point that whenever the risks versus rewards stacked up a certain way, Demetrius would do a dick in the booty move. Like, bro, you fucking yourself, bro. What the fuck are you doing? Now, if you like your chances against Yanibek, which I don't think he did, but if you like your chances against him, you go to Bob. Bob, give me $1 million, I'll fight your boy. If I beat him, maybe we can work something out. 2-fight deal. You didn't like your chances. You didn't want to do that. You thought that the Parker kid would be easy, and I don't know. Somewhere in between there, you realize, wait a minute, this don't look like it's going to be easy, or
Word.
Frank might rob me. You get drunk on camera calling out Chris Eubank when everybody know who Chris about to like. By that time, everybody already knew Chris about to fight Conor. What are you doing, bro?
Yo, that happened with me. I watched Zach Parker fight when it was like leading to being like official, and I said, wait a minute, it's not an easy fight. And then dude just knocked out the last 5 people he fought. Like, it's not an easy fight either.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I think Andrade thought that the Liam Williams fight was going to be an easy fight.
Yes.
And you got you on Queer Street.
And I believe that the Liam Williams fight is what made him do a double take on Zach Parker. Now, understand, I have nothing against Liam Williams, right? But he's not necessarily world class. I'm not saying that Zach is either, but Zach is bigger and younger than Liam. Probably hits harder than Liam. Liam hit you hard and had you woozy.
Yep.
What's going to happen if Zach hits you?
Zach is a way tougher fight than Liam Williams, man.
By far and wide.
But Jules, could I ask you something? Also, just the open question for the panel: like, should Demetrius retire?
I mean, you got a movie coming out, right?
Your fist of whatever.
No, I don't think he should retire, but I don't think he's gonna get the opportunity that he's always wanted. I think this was it. This was the last one. Like, once you made that move to WBO, to 168, you should have just committed to it.
I agree.
And he got screwed with the purse was bad. I ain't gonna lie. But you made that decision, and people were defending your decision based on the strength that might put you in a position to fight, Canelo maybe down the line,
or get a belt. Or get a belt. You know that if Canelo don't fight you and he vacate, well, at least you get a belt out of the shit. And if you get a belt, well, you back in the shit. You get a belt.
Yeah, because now, like, he has no network, no promoter behind him. Like, so he's gonna have to like work his way back up to even get a title shot. But could he do so? Because now he's gonna be 35 soon. So,
bro, he's older than Canelo. Let that sink in.
Yes.
In defense of,
you should go get a CDL.
In defense of Demetrius, real quick, I think everybody has to realize this too. There's still a space for him to get decent offers. The 3 fights that come to my mind off the top of my head, which if he's not taking a Zach Parker fight, odds are he's not taking these fights either. They're not for titles. But if you talk about having a fight with Eubank, if he beats Conor Benn, you talk about John Ryder if he doesn't fight Munguia, and you talking about a fight at 168 against anyone that's trying to get a name on their record. Realistically, that's a fight that he can have. He's just not going to make the money he was making when he was the world champion. Whether he wants to take that or not, that's up to him. But there's always a space for an undefeated record for a guy that's been a former world champion. And I think that's what everybody has to keep in mind. No, he's not going to make the
Well,
money.
let me say this, Q. Let me say this, Q.
Ryder's gonna fight Parker.
Chris Eubank, Kell Brook is coming out of retirement, y'all. So
Well,
That's
that
a
didn't
good
last
fight
long.
too, by the
That
way.
was quick.
I'm just saying that whoever win that Ben versus Eubank, they got another big payday. Whoever win that fight right there, they got another big payday. So take them out. His real only option that I see is John Ryder. Not, the other ones, those are not really Matchroom affiliated fights or fighters anyway, but John Ryder is. And you can use Ryder to get back in contention. Ryder just beat Danny Jacobs. I don't think he beat him, but the judges did, right?
Yeah, neither do I. Yep.
Fuck it.
Yep.
So you can use Ryder as a segue to try to climb up the ranks at 168. You got to do it the old-fashioned way and beat people. You ain't just going to have one fight. You fuck that up when you because I don't think he was injured. I'm being like, no, you wasn't injured, bro.
But Jules, I think didn't they state that now that Demetrius is not going to fight Zach, Ryder's next in line.
It's going to be John Ryder. But he's with Matchroom.
Okay.
It's not
He's with Matchroom.
It's more along the lines of I'm gonna fight Zach on a Frank Warren show so I could get fucked. I got fucked on a Matchroom show in the Smith fight. I'm not gonna get fucked at a Frank Warren show. Yes, I'm gonna get fucked. And for what amount of money? Probably the same amount of money I could make right here at Matchroom. So I don't really know that he takes that fight. Being real with y'all, I don't know.
Big fight though.
No, I love the fight if they make it. That's a great fucking fight if they make it, boy.
Who faked their injury more, Charlo or Andrade? Whose injury was more fake?
They both pulled out this year due to injury.
That really, I did so much content on those two, man. I can't believe they really never gonna fight, yo. That's crazy.
All that faking, they might as well fight each other now. They done wasted enough of their own time. They might as well just fight each other.
Listen. This is where the American boxing scene is at. I'm hearing Crawford and Spence not gonna fight. Bud got a hernia. Not fighting this year. It's not happening. We know Charlo and Andrade ain't gonna fucking fight, so that's out. Charlo ain't gonna fight Benavidez. That's not gonna happen neither. You know what I'm saying? This is where the American boxing scene is at. But thankfully, what is the light for me, if you've been on Twitter, you will have seen Keyshawn Davis talking shit to Devin Haney. I love it. Because they all on the same side.
Is he now?
Yes, and they all on the same side of the street. So that ain't just talking shit to be talking shit. That is something that can be built.
That's a lot of good fights.
It's a lot of good fights to make between them three, Shakur, Devin, Keyshawn. Oh, it's a lot of shit you can
135
do.
is stacked.
Not to mention adding them to the 140s. You got all them dudes at 140 on Top Rank too.
And look, Errol tried to squeeze. Look, I'm being honest. If a fighter is a good fighter, I don't care what side of the street they on, right? But I have seen Frank Martin. Get the fuck out of here, all right? You a southpaw and you eating right hand after right hand after right hand. I'm like, fam, the only reason you ain't going out is because Marinez can't punch. I don't want to hear all this. Yeah, Frank Martin's a great. No, the fuck he not. All right? No, the fuck he not. He is C and D tier to these other young kids, all right? That's what I see. And he, it looked like Errol tried to inject him in that conversation. And I seen that Keyshawn kind of shut that shit down. Like, bro, I beat the shit out of him, and I got somebody for you. I got Bud. I'm sure y'all seen the video, the hype video where he was talking crazy shit.
Did he go the distance with Marinas? Or did he take him out?
No, he took him out. He took him out. But I'm gonna say he ain't take him out like my man took him out.
Comey, right? Yep.
Comey wiped his ass with that Marine. He wiped his ass with man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Who are you? Go back over there. And he went back over there, yo.
It's still better than what Rolly did with him, though.
Oh my God.
He went through the gear still.
Bro, he was really trying to talk. This is why this generation get me aggy. He was really trying to talk shit after the Stevenson. I'm like, fam. Like, are you serious?
See, Tank hit him harder than we thought.
You had the judo throw Yigit. You had the rob Mourinho's to keep your unbeaten record. And the only real thing you known for is being a highlight reel, not on your highlight reel, on Javante's highlight reel. And you really talking shit? Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
You can't make this shit up.
I personally want to see a little bit more from Keyshawn. I just want to see a little bit more.
Look, man, I'm telling you right now, it's some kids, they have it. I'm going to name you the kids that have it. My man, Nick Jonas on steroids, the Torres kid, he has it. Keyshawn has it. Jared Anderson has it. Jalov has it. The Bekatir Jalilov, the Uzbek. The big Russian that only throw the 1-2. Even though he only throw the 1-2, he hit hard.
You talking about the D'Lo Brown dude?
The Makhmudov that he looked like a Goomba from the Super Mario.
Carlos made him look basic as hell.
But Carlos is never easy though.
I know he's not.
I don't like that dude. I think he gets knocked out as soon as he knocks.
No, look, they all gonna get knocked out. The question is he gonna accomplish something before he get knocked out? And I see a guy, yes, he will, because he showed, even though he didn't show variety in terms of punches, his legs is what I noticed. This dude is big as shit, but he could hop, he could sidestep, he could pip. I'm like, yo, he's big as shit doing that shit. He'll be all right. Give him a couple more fights, and his variety will get better. What he needed to show was an uppercut. He didn't show it. He kept shooting a 1-2, and Takama's real smart. He'll get low, come up, time up. He just kept getting low, getting under the right, and tying up. He's a real smart dude, and being real, AJ didn't look good with Takam. Parker didn't look good with Takam. Joyce didn't look good with Takam. Nobody never looked good with Takam. Yeah. The only motherfucker that knocked him out in recent memory was Derek Doria. Yeah. So I ain't even gonna hold that against him.
By the way, Jules, right quick, sorry to interrupt. What about your prospects? What about Shushu?
Oh yeah, Bruce Carrington is
yo.
Bruce Carrington, Tiger Johnson, Armani, the Puerto Rican kid, Xander Zayas, and I gotta throw Nico Ali Walsh in there, bro. He related to
yeah. He's a second coming.
Yo, he's improved dramatically before the last couple fights, though. He's
more than Berlanga, though.
Nice.
More than Berlanga.
I like how he cleaned up that guy I thought he lost to. He took him out in 2. That was nice. That was cool.
I mean, I ain't mad at him. If he want to punch a couple of people in the face, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, even if he don't want a title, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, he just want to see what it felt like to be in his grandfather's shoes a little bit. Bustamante say, waving ring in the same live. Shout out to both. Appreciate you. Lennox says, Haney will school Keyshawn as bad as Andy. Man, you gonna stop with that Cuban school bullshit. I don't give a shit about no Andy Cruz, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sick of hearing about that. Bro, that shit is 3 motherfucking rounds, bro. Let's put you in a 12-rounder and see what you really about. Because it's a lot of amateurs that they was all right. But when they went pro, like Mikhail Aloyan, got your motherfucking ass whooped. All right?
By the way, Jules, could I bring up the topic right quick of Brandon Lee? Not quite sure how to feel about him. And like his last fight, he got dropped heavy, and I'm like, how the fuck did he not get knocked out?
Listen, bro.
He's another one that's overrated, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know.
He like Joey Spencer to me.
You read my fucking mind. That's the Harlem shit. For those that don't know, Harlem. You see the shit? I heard overrated. I'm like, you know who overrated? Joey motherfucking Spencer.
Same person.
That dude sucks. Like, bro, who are you, bro? You like a little Marky Mark, like who seen Four Brothers?
I did. Hell of times.
That's what he. That's what he. Like the Marky Mark character. Like, man, you don't get the fuck out of here with your 8 Mile Road, bro.
He gonna be a prospect forever, bro.
Bro, he the forever prospect, bro. He got the Infinity Stone in his boxing glove. Like, he the forever prospect. Like, you not never gonna fight shit. Never. You should have been for some. Yo, he not fighting shit. Do you realize he ain't been fighting shit since Glovegate in 2020? Like,
been a prospect for like 5 years. They still promote it. You notice when he fight, they always say like, "Oh, he was our new boxing prospect of the year," and I'm like, bro, he's been a boxing prospect of the year for like the last 5 years, bro. Put him in there. He should have fought Ammo. I thought him and Ammo was gonna get it going.
Ammo beat the shit out of him. Yeah. I don't doubt that. Like, Ammo beat the shit. If he don't knock him out, he'll win on points. Like the prospects that they got over there, a lot of them suck, man. Like I think Gary Antoine has something. He has something. I see something in him. They got Subriel Matias, who we all know is a fucking killer. He's not really a prospect, but he is a good fighter. Jeremiah Ponce is also, he's a good Argentinian fighter, good fighter. But them other guys, man, like, come on, man. Y'all trying to sell Isaac Cruz as this and that because he lost. Not because he won, because he lost. Today, oh, he went the distance. Ooh, you didn't beat shit. You didn't beat shit. No one.
I noticed with Antoine stepping up now, the last two fights, we're starting to see some of the flaws that he has. You know, those last two fights, it's like he won, but not really. Like, I mean, he didn't look that great. You know, I mean, he won, but especially that last one, I don't know. That last one was a little bit wild. The
he was fighting a dude. You know, 2 fights ago, he's fighting a former champion, which I didn't think was a bad thing. But you literally fighting a dude that has a plane to catch. And that's not, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying shit to be funny. The motherfucker had a plane to catch that night to the Ukraine because of the crisis. So it's like, well, yeah, you fought a former champion, but I'm pretty sure he had other fucking things on his mind. And you had to work for that.
Yeah, Victor made him more. I thought that fight was stopped prematurely. I do. They could have went on, I thought.
They probably against Francis
Barbosa. That could have went on.
They probably knew he had a fucking plane to catch.
Yeah, because Postal's a vet, man. He knows how to handle himself. You know what I mean? So
real shit.
Oh Lord.
I'm never gonna stop now.
I need t-shirts made with that shit on it.
Yo, why did you do that, yo?
Yo, you can't make that shit up, bro.
Would y'all push your dad out the way if he did that shit to you?
Bro, I wouldn't even know what the fuck to say, bro.
he like Diddy.
That's exactly what he like.
Extra Diddy, like extra Diddy. But moving on from that depressing shit, we got the Wilder shit, right? And Wilder said, he said some weird shit. He said that he's the big fish, especially in America.
Oh.
And
if you talk about catfish, you got that one right. That's what the fuck he is.
He said no, but that's what he said. And look, I'll acquiesce to this. In the heavyweight division, he is the biggest name in America. We could say that.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with
that. In America, he is the biggest name in the heavyweight division, but in the world, nah, son. In the world, it's Anthony Joshua, and it's not even close.
Yeah, it's a little pond in America. It's like the littlest pond in America.
Who we got to compete with in America? Charles Martin, Gerald Washington, Jerry Forrest,
Andy Ruiz.
You cannot forget Gerald Miller.
No, listen, I'm going to tell y'all something weird, bro. I had a fucking dream, bro. Gerald Miller about to be relevant again.
No.
I'm not even playing with y'all. Like, you know why? He still got an unbeaten record. He from BK. Yeah, you know how to talk a lot of shit. He could talk shit. Like, he could sell a fight. Now, they got him next month. He going to go to Kazakhstan. He's going to fight a fucking guy, right? And then after that, he might fight on the undercard of Daniel Dubois next fight. That's the last thing that I heard. And I'm like, look, if he jump into bed with Frank, Miller versus Dubois, I like it.
Oh yeah, that's a good fight.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say feed him to Joe.
I agree.
I agree.
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
And what I'm saying is, look, Dubois is a good young fighter, but I don't really know. Like, Wave, what you think about that? You think Dubois has shown you enough that he could beat Jarrell Miller?
Yeah, right now. Yeah, because, Jarrell Miller isn't juiced up, so I really don't know what he has to really offer. Can he throw 1,000 punches like that if he's, like, normal, I really don't know. I really don't know what he is. And like, I don't know how long he's been juicing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long before that AJ fight that was supposed to happen. how long was he juicing before that? You know, like
well, look, he has to have been juicing a while because he buying dick pills on Nostrand Avenue. So I mean, he must have what he said, bro. I ain't say it. He said it. He got ED, B. Yeah, he got to buy them 7-Eleven dick pills, bro.
Like it seems like when fighters say stuff, do you not realize that you're just digging the hole deeper for yourself?
Well, I mean, listen, it's either he lying or his meat don't work. You know.
Still, that's like, come on, you don't tell nobody, you don't make that shit like that public.
That's literally. He jumped on camera 2 years ago, and he said that the banned substance, some portion of it, was from some dick pills that he took. So that's literally the story. That's not for comedic value. That is literally what the fuck he said. So it's either you full of shit or your meat don't work. And I wouldn't want to, you know.
Okay, Julius, but let me ask you this question: how many banned substance Jarrell Miller tested positive?
3 for the Joshua fight, and I think 3 more for what was supposed to be the Jerry Forrest fight on Top Rank.
Big Pharma.
That's a lot of dick pills.
I tell you.
Yeah, and man, that's some CVS pharmacy shit, man.
he's
Yo,
crazy.
Yo, somebody need to tell Jarrell, hey, listen, bro, eat more garlic, bro, to thin out your blood. You be all right. You be out here with the meanest bro rock, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I feel there's a lane for him, yo. There's a lane for him.
Maybe he's back. He's getting older. How old is he about to be? 35 himself?
Yeah, but you know heavyweights.
Oh yeah. They age differently. I know. But
how did he look in those comeback fights? By the way, because I never actually watched them.
I watched them, and this is a part of the reason I'm saying this. That's a part of it. He is not a volume puncher anymore. You know that he used to go out there throwing 1,000. He not that no more. But he showed good balance of offense and defense. That's what he showed, like good punch selection. That when he do throw, it gets in. You didn't see a lot of power, but he showed good boxing. He not going out there throwing a million punches around no more. That's out. But he did show decent boxing.
How many fights has he had?
2 since he came back, and he about to have another one. He about to have another one next month, and then he about to fight again in November.
Okay, but my question is, what is he really gonna do? By the way, what's up, fellas? But what is he really gonna do?
Well, country, think about it this way. We know that the belts is all tied up, so winning a belt, that ain't it, right? That ain't it. But maybe he could beat some guys. Like, I look at Dubois, and I'm like, it's not a foregone conclusion that Dubois beats Jarrell Miller.
Julius, have you basing that assumption on Jarrell Miller's level of competition so far?
I'm basing that on Dubois looking weird in the Bryan fight. He looked weird, bro. Like, I know he knocked it, but he looked weird. Like,
not Julius. He beat Bryan, the second coming of the heavyweight division. Come on, man. Gotta give him credit for that.
Could we actually see the battle of the big babies?
I'm saying, you talking about Jet? I mean, look,
because he stole his name. He stole his name. That's a fight waiting to happen.
But Top Rank not gonna fuck with him because he burnt that bridge.
That's
Remember,
right.
he burnt. He was supposed to make his Top Rank debut after the AJ shit. After all of that,
he was done with Eddie. Eddie is done, and Bob is done.
So he got to go UK. Listen, he got to go UK with the shit. Michael Hunter signed the Sky Sports and Boxer, so they need heavyweights. Sign Jarrell Miller. People don't like him, but I bet you they'll watch just so they can see him get fucked up.
Yeah.
I bet you.
Jared Anderson said he'll fight Dubois. What do y'all think of that?
Jared beats him. I got Jared beating him.
I have Jared beating him when they fight. But right here and right now, is now the right time?
Nah. I mean, Jared just he's the gap skill wide is too large. You know, Jared is way too skillful.
Jared shows a higher ceiling and better variety than Dubois, but Dubois has fought in 10 and 12 rounders. He has fought in those. Jared, you get into now, come into 8 and 10 rounders. So I don't think it's going to happen yet anyway. But when they fight, I'll say if and when they fight, I would go Anderson on the premise that he will have the experience that he needs for that fight, because he doesn't have it right now.
He's improving quicker. Danny, I still see the same guy every single fight.
Me too.
I haven't seen any, even after the loss. It's the same thing. I don't know.
He don't move his head. And you'd have thought that, well, look, getting your eye broke and your bone broke in your face from not moving your head would teach you to move your head. He don't move that shit.
At least your feet a little bit. I thought him being with Shane would kind of put like some pep in his step a little bit and make him be more defensively sound.
But let's get some Wilder talking. I personally, I'm not against his next fight being a pay-per-view, because absence makes the heart grow fonder. He does have an audience. Personally, I think it will do well at the box office. I'm gonna go to the bottom row. Martin, what you think that fight gonna do on pay-per-view, and will you buy that fight?
Nah, I won't buy it, but I think it'll make at least 300.
Country, will you buy that fight?
Hell no. Because that's his former sparring partner, man. Come on. That's like Hector Camacho when he fought his former sparring partner.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't buy it, man.
I mean, come on. I want to pay for a real challenge, number one. Number two, I give it between 250 to 300 with all the Wilderettes backing him up and getting back in on it because they're happy he's back and can live vicariously through him again.
I agree with that. I think there's enough there that it could do at least 300. Julio, do you like that fight? Or are you going to buy that fight?
Absolutely not. I'm not going to be swindled by the PBC and support that stupid-ass fight. The undercard actually doesn't look too bad. But, no, I will not be supporting the fight. Bro? I think it does. Yeah, so Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell, Frank Sanchez is on there. Gary Antonio Russell's on there. So
Frank Sanchez,
it's not.
If Frank Sanchez is on it, then I'm definitely not buying it.
Damn. I was waiting for that.
You just made that very easy for me.
Yeah, Jules, you really hate that guy, don't you?
Oh, that dude is fucking boring, bro. I can't. I'm old. It's late. I can't watch that shit.
He's NyQuil.
What you think about Wilder Helenius, and do you think it's pay-per-view worthy?
No, it's not. I don't think it's pay-per-view worthy. And like I said, and number two, I'm not gonna buy that elementary school recess fight bullshit. and on top of that, it might do maybe like 300 because Wilder is coming back, and the rest of his little fuckboy nation is gonna watch that shit.
Mm-hmm. No, but it's the truth. Like, as much as we don't like it, yes, it might do 300 due to nostalgic boxing fans. Wave, do you like that fight? Is it pay-per-view worthy? What does it do at the box office?
I'm thinking 250 to 3. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Do you like his choice? Of Robert?
Yeah, no, I'm cool with the choice. I think what somebody said earlier, I think the one issue I have is, fighting a former sparring partner. I remember the last time he fought a sparring partner and a good friend of his. The guy kind of laid down. So that's the one thing I'm worried about. But I like Robert Helenius though.
Yeah. Leo, what do you think about that? Are you okay with Wilder fighting an old sparring partner? Does that ball? Just how do you feel about that fight?
Okay, I am not really a Wilder fan, because when I watch boxing, I like the boxing part of the boxing event, and Wilder doesn't provide that. He provides a right hand, and for that, not everyone is like me, and there are people that would like to see Wilder knock out Helenius, and that's fine. How many buys? I think after the two Fury beatdowns, maybe 300 to 400K, maybe. His pay-per-view worthy, yeah, because that trilogy made something for Wilder, and at this the heavyweight scheme, is gonna get watched independently of who he fights from now. Not before. Before was just
that is true. That is true.
That was just some gimmick. That the Deontay Wilder was the most exciting heavyweight box. No, that was a lie. After the trilogy, yeah, people are want to see him, and they want to see the knockouts. That's the only thing he does, because boxing, nah.
No, yeah, I mean, absolutely. That he might have got the shit beat out of him 2 times, really fucking bad, and it was embarrassing. But you can say that there is entertainment value in Deontay Wilder. I would be lying if I said otherwise. He does provide, because he's vulnerable, because he's not perfect, there's a chance that he loses, but because he hits hard, there's a chance that he wins, and that in and of itself creates an intriguing little bubble. Jay,
are you the right opponent though?
That's true. Jay, are you going to buy the fight?
Jules, I'll answer your question with a question. So, on that day, we get the Wilder Helenius fight, but we also get Haney versus Kambosos, the rematch. We get Shields versus Marshall, Bumgarner versus Mayer, and we get the DAZN Australian card. So, Jules, I ask you, what would Jesus do?
Well, look. Funny thing you brought up, Shields, but I spoke to Alicia earlier. Very excited, very determined, very focused, very driven. I'm sticking with my pick, and I'm going with Alicia by knockout. Looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm gonna watch Devin Haney, bro, for more reasons than one. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We as American boxing fans should support Devin. Why? He did what the fuck we ask fighters to do.
He did. Yes, he did.
That's what the fuck we want in a fighter that's willing to travel, a fighter that's willing to fight for undisputed, a fighter that's willing to take on. He say he want Loma, even better. After this, even better. So I feel we have to show the networks and the promoters as consumers of the sport what moves the needle for us as consumers. So that night, I'm watching Devin.
Hey, Jules, don't ask me makes a pretty valid point. He says, I don't see it doing better than Wilder versus Ortiz. No titles, coming off a loss. Helenius isn't hyped as the danger man of the division. Those are valid points.
Well, those are valid points, but Wilder has reached the point to where there's a sentimental attachment, even if I don't have it and we don't have it. Some people do. And because he is regarded, we watch the sport closer than most. So we can sift through the bullshit in a way that a lot of other people can't. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have value. I think he can do 300,000. I do think that. 300,000 at least, 400,000 at most. Just because, 1, it's the heavyweight division. 2, absence makes the heart grow fonder. 3, Wilder is a knockout artist, and casuals do love knockouts. So could he do 300,000 on that premise? I say yes, I think he can.
I can. I think he does that. Probably doesn't exceed any more than 350.
Now what happens after that? I'm gonna go back to Wave. Got Andy Ruiz, really fat guy. He's really fucking fat, but he's one of these fat guys. They fight good. If you ever fought a fat guy, I'm trying to tell you, I'd fight a skinny guy any old day of the fucking week over a fat guy. It's very hard to fight fat fucking people. And he's a fat fucking guy. Do you like his chances against Deontay Wilder?
A little bit. I do think it's a decent fight. I don't think he wins, but I like the fight. I'm cool with the fight. I like the this guy Joyce fight better, but
I like that fight way better.
I mean, that's a real pay-per-view to me right now. I'll pay for that without no problems. But going back to what y'all was saying about Wilder and the reason why people want to see him fight. People just want to see the knockout, man. They ain't trying to watch and tune into a good fight. I have a good friend every single time Wilder fights in the Barclays. We out. We going because we went. I think me and my pops went to the Brazil one. I was like, he's going to get knocked. This is not going to last, man. Nah, we don't care. Because my boy went with us too. And he's like, nah, I don't care who's going to see it. Same thing with this fight here. He wants me to go, and we know he's gonna knock him out real quick.
He is.
He just like, let's pay good seats to see a knockout, a quick one.
It's like one thing, like, could I just add something right? Because one thing, Wave, that you just touched on, it's like one thing, intriguing thing about Wilder is like the thing with his fights. When is he? The fear factor is when is he going to land that right hand? And what round is it coming? That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing, though, man. Wilder's going to land that right hand, and they're going to play the theme from the old Jello commercial, talking about "Watch it wiggle."
Listen. I mean, like, the reason I know that there's market value just in the knockout is when I was a child, you never knew when Mike was going to knock the guy out. Don't fucking blink, because if you blink, he's going to knock the fucking guy out.
Yep.
And that, to a much, much, much lesser degree, Wilder has that going for him, that, yeah, he's a knockout merchant. That's what he sells. He sells you knockouts. Yeah. And some people don't even care who he's knocking out. So I'm like, yeah, it could do 300,000.
That happened to me with a Mike Tyson fight. I was watching. I went to go to the bathroom. I came back, and it was over.
But Mike was the golden era, bro.
I know. But I was sad because I had paid for the fight and everything, and I didn't get to see it.
Mike was larger than life. You know that. Martin, Wilder, Ruiz. Do you like that fight?
Yeah, of course, man. It's gonna do definitely pay-per-views. You got, Mexicans on one end, and you got your African Americans on the other end. Those fights sell, man. And if they can land on them like on a May or September thing, dude.
What do you think that fight would do, Martin? You think it could do like 6 or something like that?
I'll give it like 7, bro.
Wow, that's a big number. I'm not gonna lie, that's a big number. I could see 5.
I could see 5. I'm thinking at least 5 for me.
Well, he did winning them championships, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I
to
can
me.
see 5 for that.
I think it's real good that Andy is coming off that win against Ortiz. I think that's real good too.
But you know what the real fucking problem is? When do they make the fucking fight? When? Because
Probably next year.
No, not like that. In other words, don't wait 8-10 fucking months to do it, because then everything cools off. If he go in there, he knock out fucking Hellenius in 2 rounds. Do that motherfucking shit as soon as possible. Then they don't got to be this year, but do it in fucking February.
Spring is ideal. Sometime in spring, February, March, April, something like that.
I give it about 450 to 500.
So, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
do they have the money to do that?
That's the question, bro. Yeah. That is the question.
Yeah, they might have to take a loss on that one. I don't know. I
mean, it depends. If you feel that you putting on a show that's going to generate money, it's not a risk. If you feel it's going to generate money, but if you feel like it might not, then yeah, it's a risk.
Yeah, the problem with Deontay Wilder are his fans, because his fans, Deontay Wilder fans, they don't fuck with him the way they speak up.
That's true. They
talk good as a pitch, but they don't buy
right. Because Jules, how many videos did you make about them pirating his fights instead of supporting him?
Case in point, they did a Ruiz rematch, right? I mean, an Ortiz rematch. This was in between the 2 Tyson Fury fights, the first 2. And without Tyson Fury, and that's not saying that Fury is this and that either. They needed each other to make a big show. They needed each other to make a big fight, because separately, they just don't sell like that. They don't sell like that. Like, nah, you wildin'. Look at what fucking Fury did at the gate for fucking Wallin and Schwartz. Look at what Wilder did at the box office with Ortiz for a second time. Neither one of those 2 sold shit till they got back together. So with a decent dance partner, they could do okay. Like Fury about to fight this fucking Char guy. I'm about to have so much fucking fun for the next.
That's really happening?
I mean, bro, that's what Fury's saying. That's what Char's saying. That's what it's saying.
I mean, I knew he wasn't, but I was hoping that they were gonna fight him and Joshua. But I know that wasn't. But
yo, real quick, let me ask you something, because I was thinking about this today. Do you think, because in a sense like that, Frank and Eddie is still talking like, that they're still trying to make the fight, but Fury is the one that's saying, "Nope, you missed your turn. It is what it is. I'm moving on." Do you think he's just using Char just to try to bait Joshua and put pressure on him to make the fight?
I thought about this. At first, I thought that his goal was to get AJ in the ring at a bad time for AJ. In the beginning, that's what I thought. But then I thought about it. I thought about it like, look, if I'm Fury, I'm making AJ this offer expecting him to take it. No, I'm not expecting him to take it. I'm offering him something I don't expect him to take. Now, why would I do that? Because I'm trying to make him look bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for a fight. If I'm offering a dude a fight that I don't think he's going to take, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving him deadlines and all this bullshit. It can't be because I'm expecting him to say yes. So why would a fighter offer a guy a fight he don't expect him to take? Publicity. You was always going to fight Chaw, bro. It was always going to be Chaw. That's what I see. There was always going to be Chaw. At first, I thought, oh, you trying to get him when he on the humble. You trying to catch him off 2 losses. And I'm like, nah, you don't expect him to say yes off of 2 losses. So you really did this to sell people the Chaw fight because you was always going to fight Manuel Chaw. That was always going to be the guy you fought. That's your routine. When you came back, you fought 2 nobodies, Pianetta and Safari. Then you fought Wilder. Then you fought 2 more nobodies, motherfucking Valine and Schwartz. And now you doing that same shit. You about to fight a nobody. That's what that motherfucking shit is. The real question is BT going to approve that fight? But apparently they signed Manuel Chaw, in case y'all don't know. They signed him to a 3-fight deal. So they might approve Fury versus Chaw at the box.
Wow.
They gave him a 3-fight deal.
Hey, Jules, Will has a good question, man.
Let me read these super chats. Boo Boo tossed his belt, failed to snake the Eubank fight from Ben, and ended up with 6 times less money for Parker. The man is walking
bumble.
How many surgeries before Wilder's right hand is useless? He's got to have a lot of nerve damage. I'm curious if it will be a problem sooner than later. Bro, he probably can't jerk off with that hand, bro. That's some surgeries to that shit.
Didn't he injured in the 3rd Fury fight too, didn't he?
He injured it. I'll say before that 3rd Fury fight, he had 7 surgeries to that arm. The Fury fight makes 8.
8. Yep.
8 surgeries to the same arm. He ain't gonna be able to jerk off with that fucking hand after a while.
Yo, speaking on Wilder, I just wanted to respond to the person that was just talking about how his fans don't really support him. I think this fight here, being that he did the numbers he did with Fury, and that's, that was a pretty successful fight. I think this fight here will really prove where he's at as far as him being a cash cow, because now this is strictly based on his name and his name alone. He can't use Fury. And if his numbers are poor, it will show us, like, if he's really the star that, people believe he is.
I agree.
I agree with that 100%. 100%.
I agree.
And I think that there was, look, me being honest, were the last 2 fights entertaining? Yeah. And I know that to a lot of other people, those fights meant more to them than to me. So I feel like, yeah, when push come to shove, he can do 300,000. He could do between 3 and 4 because boxing fans are sentimental. Listen, realize Leo is a Golovkin fan. I've been gave up on Golovkin after 2018. I gave up. Like, man, you full of shit, bro. You should have fought Saunders. But people are sentimental. So I'm like, does Wilder have those kinds of fans that rock with him through thick and thin that will pay? Yeah, I think he has at least 300,000. That'll pay. I think so. I ain't going front. It don't help his situation that the biggest sports network in the country has a fight happening that same night. But the silver lining is, well, remember what the first fight looked like? Remember what the first that shit. Remember what that shit was? All right, then. So that's the fuck is on that night. So you decide. You want to cough up the 80 for the knockout, or you gonna watch this free shit for the decision? What's it gonna be?
A question: wasn't the Matias Ponce fight on that card too, and was it on something else?
It's off. Ponce got visa issues. It's off.
I knew that, but it was on that card though.
It was gonna be on that card. That would have been a good fight. That would have been
the best fight on the card.
Bro, he probably would have caught another body on that fucking card. Fucking Matias, bro. He already got one. He probably would have caught another because fucking Ponce ain't no pure boxer. He like to throw.
That would have been a toe-to-toe just that shit.
War, did you guys see Keyshawn Davis talking smack to Errol Spence Jr.?
Yeah, I seen that shit. Because Errol trying to sell Frank Martin, and I'm like, look, there's certain little things haven't been acquainted with this as long as I have, Martin is a southpaw. Marinez is an orthodox fighter. If you eat in 3 and 4 right hands throughout the course of the fight, that is not good. The only reason you still standing up is because Marinez ain't got no power. If that would have been an orthodox fighter with some power, Frank Martin goes out on the shield. So that tell me you not what they say you are. Your jab is supposed to come over the top of his. You supposed to be landing your straight left. And it's not supposed to be him landing all these right hands. So that's not good. I'm like, what's Keyshawn? Somebody tell me, please. What stance he fight out of?
He's an orthodox fighter.
Keyshawn orthodox?
I thought he was a southpaw. He's southpaw, right?
You're southpaw.
Oh, I'm tripping. My bad.
That's all I need to know. Like, do I think Keyshawn could knock out Frank Martin? Absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely. Marinez was tagging you all up, bro. Marinez ain't even all that. So if
I
Marinez,
need to watch that. I need to watch that fight. I want to see that fight now.
Yeah, I definitely need to go back and watch that one.
Watch that. Listen, watch that fight and watch. This is what I like to do if I watch a fight back. Watch their feet. Watch their feet. And that'll tell you, like, fam, this kid is not all that. Like, they hyping him up. Your feet is not even in position. His foot is on the outside of yours, but he an orthodox fighter. Why is that happening? Because you not all that.
No, Keyshawn is a righty. He's a righty. I had to look it up just now. I'm watching this fight real quick. Yeah, he's not a southpaw.
He's not. He's not. Or?
Yeah, he's an orthodox fighter.
Okay. I'm fucking slow. I'm slow. That's my fault. I'm old. In any event, Frank Martin ain't shit, and that's all I got to say about that. No, wait a minute. Well, no, wait a minute. Yeah, I got it. See, I am slow. That's the point I was making. Marinez is an orthodox fighter, but he was landing a bunch of right hands. Keyshawn is an orthodox fighter.
That's the point I thought you were trying to make.
I'm slow, bro. Like I got twisted up. I'm like, yeah, what point was right? That's the point I was making. He gonna land his right hand on Frank Martin. Because Frank Martin, you supposed to be this special fucking southpaw. Well, if that's the case, why the fuck you eating all these right hands?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're gonna get fucking caught.
I gotta go back and watch that fight, man. Now.
Bro, watch that fight and count how many right hands Marinez landed.
Yeah,
he went through the gears until the final.
I have a question about any news of the Errol Spencer Crawford fight?
It's off. It's not happening. It's completely off. A source told me yesterday, Bud has a hernia.
Fuck.
Not even kidding. That's what I was told. Believe it at your peril. That's what I do.
So Bud got injured.
That's what I was told.
He got injured. That's why is off.
Yeah.
Damn it,
bro. I love Bud, man, but I can't keep doing this, bro. It's like an abusive relationship. Like I can't just wait on these guys, man. Fuck that shit.
Man, I'm pissed, but I shouldn't have expected any different.
Shouldn't be surprised. I mean, it was. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't meant to be.
Listen, man. Like I said, I lived in an era where Bo never fought Lewis, so this shit to me, bro. Yep. A lot of fucking fights didn't happen when I was
never wanted any of Lewis, dude, and you know it.
Of course he didn't want none of Lewis, bro. Of course not.
Y'all know
you remember what happened in the amateurs? Will says, and watch Errol sweat. He was worried all fight. Of course, bro. He probably calling up Keith Thurman right now. Hey, Keith. Hey, Keith.
But do y'all know that Eddie Futch actually admitted he blocked the fight from happening with Bo and Lewis?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he was Manny Stewart revealed that in an interview. He said he had dinner like years later with Futch, and he asked him. He said, "Why didn't the Bo Lewis fight have happened?" So, "Oh no, I blocked the fight, Manny, because I thought that Bo wasn't. I thought he wasn't over what happened in the amateurs."
I mean, look, man. That's how I felt anyway. That like Lewis, he just had his number, and Riddick knew it. He knew it, and for whatever reason, whatever. I just didn't know the whole story, but I always felt like Bo didn't want that fight. He didn't want that fight. So you can let me read the super chat. So you can add a drink with that next bake. I dig it. I appreciate it.
Hey, but he said a source told him that Bud was in camp.
Bro, why you think I said believe it at your peril? All I could tell you is what I was told. And I was told yesterday that he has a hernia. And I'm like, See, and I took it the way I'm taking it now. Like, yo, you know what? I took it the way I'm taking it now. Like, yo, you know what, bro? I got Chocolatito versus Estrada 3 coming. I got Inouye versus Butler coming. I got
Bivol versus Ramirez.
Bivol versus Ramirez. McCaskill versus Cameron. Baumgartner versus Mayer. Shields versus Martin. I'm good, bro.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
They fight. They fight. If they don't, they don't.
If Crawford really has a hernia, it might be Crawford might be down after this.
Maybe. Yeah. Why you think I'm like this? Like I'm like the fuck I'm. You know. He in his mid-30s. I know all about the mid-30s, bro. All right, mid-30s for me was a couple of years ago. Motherfucking shit don't heal the same, bro. Motherfucker don't get off the couch the same, bro. You feel that shit.
Jules. I'm just between us fellas, like I'm pushing 34, and I'm going to the gym every morning. My back will not stop hurting like a motherfucker. Seriously, I mean, I swear to God, you know.
Pushing 34. Come on, man, that's a young age still.
No, but still, it's like I'm approaching my mid-30s, so it's like working out is getting hard.
Well, all right, I hear you on that one, but I mean, still, wait till you're my age, dude.
Shout out to my man Tony Boswell. Always appreciate you, Tony. And I'm telling you, like, look, man, when you don't heal the same, like it's not even cap. Like, no, you heal slower. Everything is slower after in your mid-30s. That's when everything starts to slow down. So if that's just what I was told. That's why I didn't put it in a video. I didn't do a segment on it. I'm just relaying y'all what was told to me by somebody out there. And that's what they told me, yo.
Jules, your sources usually check out, so I'll take your word for it.
But I hope they're wrong. I don't want the man to have a fucking hernia.
Word, I hope that's not true.
Me too. Yeah.
That Canelo Golovkin source was a swish.
That was our last.
That Canelo Golovkin source was a swish.
I'm saying, like, I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to say who, but they would know. You see what I mean? And I'm like, when I seen what Dan said, I'm like, first and foremost, ain't no way you have the zone's numbers. There's no way, because Nielsen Media and TV Research, this is not a conventional cable and satellite situation to where you will have all the numbers. The only numbers that I think you can get to are the buys that came in through cable and satellite, which would be the Barstool Sports portion of it. You either have partial intel or bad intel, because there's no way for you to get at the zone buys. And I maintain that. And I got told the number the night he broke that story, that night before. I said the number I was given was around 900,000. That's the number I was given. But I didn't want to jump it and put it out there, because who gonna believe me anyway? But I said it. If you go to the video, the video I was live like tonight, I said the number I got was close around 900,000. That's what I was told, and 22 million at the gate. That's what I was told. And it's like, it's not hard, fam. Look at the videos of people that were there. You can see all the money. All the shit was packed.
Yeah.
No, the weigh-in was crazy. That shit looked like crisp, like on what Black Thursday or whatever, Black Friday.
Black Friday.
It looked like Black Friday at Walmart.
Yeah,
it looked like Canelo opened up an amusement park.
You know what I'm saying? And then you think about it, it's like certain shit you gotta have. The internet has a way of hypnotizing people that they believe whatever they read, and it's like, yo, listen. This man did 800,000 with an unknown white boy from Tennessee that nobody knows, but he did 800,000, and he did 600,000 or close to it with a Russian kid nobody knows. Looks like a fucking Bond villain. Nobody know that man, and he did these numbers with them. People know Golovkin. They know him. So how is it hard to believe that he sold with a dude that people know more than him? It's not hard.
Yeah, the way in looked like a Canelo.
Not your source.
Huh?
I am Dave says Julius Hope Blue Blood is not your source.
Hell no.
He said it laughing though. He's joking, man.
No. Look, I have several that feed me different intel about different shit with different outfits. That one, all the intel that I get from them, it always checks out. Always. Almost like I can't think of a time that it didn't. And I'm like, well, it shouldn't be a witch hunt that, yeah, this did $1 million. Why? The man last year did 800,000 with John B from Tennessee. So how is it hard to believe that he could do more than that with Golovkin, who a lot of people know? A lot of people know him.
Right.
Shit ain't complicated.
Yeah, you could sell magic beans. You could sell magic beans to
real shit. But they want me and you to believe that Davis killing it out here, bro. I could tell you that when they tell you 225, it's not 225, it's 170. But they're not going to tell you that. But keep lying. It's like you can't fool people that spend money on boxing because they the ones that know. I'm not going to give you not one dime of my money for no motherfucking Isaac Cruz. Are you nuts? I'm not going to give you a dime of my money for no motherfucking Ruiz versus, no. And I am a consumer. I spend money on boxing every day. Well, not every day, but a lot. And I'm like, bro, this shit is not box office. You see what I mean? So you can't pull a veil over my eyes and tell me that you doing big numbers with that bullshit. You did $5 million at the gate. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What did you do at the box office? Because that's what you really relying on for the bread. And don't forget, you using cable and satellite. They're taking 30 to 40% of whatever you make. So don't beat me on the head man, get the fuck out. Ain't nobody dumb out here, fam. That's why I can't stand Leonard Ellerbe. Like, listen, bro, here's the truth. Gervonta Davis does have some drawing power. I would be lying to you if I told you that he didn't. He does. And he would put up 500,000 to 600,000. Would a Stevenson? Yes. Would a yes. You know why? Because those are fights where people gonna look like, oh, I gotta buy that. Fact. I might have to buy that.
Right.
I might have to buy that. With a Ryan Garcia? Yes, because Ryan got all his little weird friends from where he from? Indio, California or
I thought he's from Hollywood.
No.
He's from somewhere out there, bro.
He may as well be from Hollywood the way he acts.
Yeah.
If he just did the same thing like most of these fighters did, take one really tough fight, do a pay-per-view, do your numbers, blow it up, do Stevenson, Haney, whatever, blow it up, do your 500,000. You want to take a easy, or a easier touch, good fight, but easier touch, do a pay-per-view again. Might not do the same numbers, but at least give us something in between, something good, something not too good. You just doing the same type of opponents where no one's asking for any of these fights, yo. It's
and
crazy.
Know what this shit is, Steve? And I stand hand on heart, put my hand on 7 stacks of Bibles. Stevenson plays with him.
Yep.
Oh, they're saying he's from Victorville, man.
Oh, right, Victorville. Somebody told me it's a lot of tweakers out there.
Jules, I thought Devin Haney had Ryan's number. Why? That's why he didn't want to know.
I do feel that because I feel that way because a lot of the shit that Ryan do, that jab from Devin, it's going to stop a lot of that shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to
nullify.
It's going to stop a lot of that shit, and it's the same with Stevenson and Davis. But more so because Stevenson is a southpaw. You have no advantages against him. You're fast, he's fast. You're a southpaw, he's a southpaw. But he's taller and longer than you are, and he boxes from the outside. You need to get close to him to land your counter shot, and he's not going to give you nothing to counter. He's going to jab and move to the side, a jab and half step. It's not going to be no opportunity for you to do nothing. And the real reason that why you think Floyd named those two specifically? Devin and Shakur. You didn't say that about Ryan. You said that about Devin and Shakur. I've known why the whole time. They have the style to beat him, and you know it. He's a counterpuncher.
We don't want to see him lose.
100%.
He's a counterpuncher. He need the dude to be on his front foot, to be standing on his whole foot, coming forward. He need that for the counter shot. They're not going to give him that opportunity. They protect themselves very well. They're not going to.
The other thing, too, is like with Ellerbe, what you were saying, that guy can't shut his mouth, and he ain't got nowhere near the room to talk. I mean, he's not a big player at all.
He do 2 shows a year to max, and he acting like he motherfucking. He acting like
he's Don King.
He acting like the dude from Rocky V, only in America.
Good.
We all waiting on him to get punched and land on the car hood.
Punch me not too, punk. Touch me.
Jules,
That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite Rocky movies, man. Keep it up. Ooh, yeah. The whole soundtrack was mean for that shit.
Oh hell yeah, big time.
Yo, but Jules, because like not only does Shakur play with Ryan, I think he stops him.
I don't know.
I mean, because Shakur will stay in the pocket with you and he like punches with spikes. So, like,
I'm gonna say, look, it'll be one of those situations where Shakur is winning. Why? This look like a Shakur Stevenson fight. It's going. You're not going to get all that. You're not going to get to do none of that shit. And Floyd knows it. He knows, like, bro, that dude know boxing. He knows, like, he can't get a counter shot unless the guy makes a mistake. Like, what's the mistake Leo made? He threw the right hand 3 times. Bro, by the 3rd time, he gonna counter you. On Broly, he threw the 1-2 back to back with his chin in it. Like, bro, you gonna get countered. These guys don't fight that way, bro.
This is a point I've actually brought up multiple times before, but that one fight where Floyd was watching him, he was standing outside the ring and he got hit. I think it was with Cruz. And the minute he got hit, Floyd like turned away and almost walked away and you could tell by the look on.
He was in panic mode. He was in panic mode.
Yeah, he knew when he got caught like that. He just knew. He was like, "Oh man, it's like he had that."
Country, I'm glad you brought up that fight because in that fight, this is how I know that Davis. This is another reason. I can only speak for myself. This is why I don't believe in him. Cruz is a pressure fighter. He's going to give you all the opportunities you need to hit him with punches he don't see and hit him with counter shots because he's always going to open up. That's how he fights. You see how he fights. He don't even jab. He just wings the looping right. He just wings shots.
Yep.
In a fight like that, if you're an A-level boxer puncher, if you're A-level, that man goes to sleep. But I've maintained for you, you're not A-level, you're B-level. But they put you in there with C-level guys. Now, Cruz is like a B- pressure fighter. So you beat him, but you didn't knock him out. If you were an A-level, yeah, you would have knocked him out. How I know? I look at Spence as being B tier. I look at Porter as being B tier. I don't mean that as an insult. There are very few A-level fighters out there. Crawford is one of them. That's why I maintained for 3 years. Crawford stops Porter because Crawford is not Errol. He ain't gonna sit here giving you what the fuck you want. He gonna move and keep hitting you at the turn. Keep hitting you at the turn. He gonna break you down bit by bit, and he ain't gonna get hit. If you look at the punch stats for that fight, Porter only landed 79 punches on Crawford. He landed 170 something on Errol. It's like the numbers don't lie, fam. And if you don't believe the numbers, watch the fight. Watch the fight. Errol got hit a lot.
Hey, Funk Rates, I don't agree, man. He thinks that Haney will beat Shakur. I don't think so.
No, I disagree. I disagree with that.
I wouldn't pick Haney to win that fight, being real with you. And that's not a knock on him. They're both great. But I just Southpaw, I love a Southpaw. Love a good Southpaw. And that's what the fuck Shakur is. He's a real good Southpaw.
I think Haney's gonna be I think Shakur wins, but I think Haney's gonna be the toughest fight for him.
Stylistically, they have the same base style. They have small differences. I see a lot of nuance in Shakur that I don't see in Devin. Like Devin is more conventional. That's not a knock on him, but it's little things that Shakur does that it's like when this kid tried to go to the body with the right hand last weekend, Shakur just did a little move. He turned his torso a little bit so that the hand would sail to the back. And he would stand to the side of him the whole time. So as soon as something, I could counter, or if he tries to drop it right on me, I could roll it, come back. He just do a lot of little...
Like he reads everybody well. Like before they even throw the punch, he already know what you're going to do. And it's not... I think only special fighters can really do that, man. Like I think Haney's ability is very, very like it's up there, but I think Shakur is just special, man.
Well, I'm gonna go to my favorite parallel. I feel Shakur is Achilles and Devin is Hector. You nice, don't get it twisted. You nice, you got it, but you're not Achilles. That's how I look at that.
Yep,
you're not Achilles. Achilles is just he out there, man. Like. I don't see nobody. Look, the only dude at or around these weights that I feel stands a legitimate chance of beating Shakur is a 34-year-old Lomachenko. And I don't know what he has because he's 34. Time is not on his side. I got to see what the fuck he look like with this Ortiz kid. The Ortiz kid, I think, is a southpaw. I think he is.
Yeah.
And I got to see what the fuck he got with him. Because if I don't like it, bro, you not what he has working for him against both Devin and Shakur is he is a volume puncher. And he comes at you from weird angles. He'll stay to the side of the jab, punch you in the chest, then come over the top with some shit, then pivot, then he'll do a lot of weird shit from a lot of weird angles. Now, I like Loma's chances against Devin more than I like his chances against Shakur because you can't do that with Shakur. He's a southpaw too. You don't have no advantage with him. With Devin, you have an advantage that Devin might be outgrowing 135, and with it, so goes his punch resistance. That because he needs to move up. Like he's been there a while, and he's not a small lightweight. He's actually decent size for lightweight. So that's what Loma kind of has working for him with him. None of that is in play with Shakur, bro. He might be stronger at 35 from not having to cut down to 30. Tell me.
I can see Shakur and Loma possibly. I mean, like I'd favor him. I favor them in those fights against if they were to fight Devin. I see because Jules, you just made that point. The punches. I could see Devin probably getting stopped by those guys.
Devin's best weapon is his jab. That's his best weapon.
That's it. Yes.
And if you're in there with someone who can disrupt it or take it away, they're gonna force you to fight. And we saw what almost happened with Linares. Credit to Devin because if that right hand would have landed on Ryan goes down, and he might go out. Ryan goes down. Devin took the shot. He was woozy. He stumbled to the corner, but he took the shot. He didn't go down, didn't take a knee. Credit to Devin. But I'm just saying, your best weapon is not a hard right hand. It's not a sharp left hook. It's not an uppercut. It's not a body shot. It's your jab. That's your best weapon. This guy has everything he needs to take that away from you. He has the feet. He has the stance. He has the speed.
Do Kambosos have any way of doing that in this fight? Because I think that's basically, since you're saying all that, that's basically what he needs to do, and then some. Is there any chances, any fight in Kambosos' past fights? I'm thinking Lee Selby. Who's the other guy he fought?
That fight was close. I remember that fight.
Even though he's an orthodox fighter, right? So what would need to change for him to beat Devin? Well, you need to bend at the knees, bend at the waist, fight at a slight crouch, keep the chin tucked, mimic the Mike Tyson shit. You ain't got to do the peekaboo, but when you come forward, you need to side to side like Povetkin. Povetkin didn't do the peekaboo, but when he would come forward, side to side, side to side, side to side, because it's the jab you got to get around. Once you get around that jab, then you can work. Here's the problem. There's certain things you have to have naturally. Speed. George ain't got the foot speed for none of that. He don't have the foot speed. He don't have the reflexes. It's certain things that are physical and certain things are skills. Now, you could know that that's what you have to do, but do you have the body to do that?
No.
I don't see him doing that.
No.
Like, no. What, you going to turn into a different fighter from the fighter that I seen leading up? No, you're not.
I said this after the loss to Haney. I was like, Kambosos in that fight looked exactly how I thought he was before he fought Teofimo. Because I never thought much of him. I thought it was a great time to fight Teofimo with all the reschedules, all the personal things he was going through, the poor coaching in his corner. I thought it was just a perfect time to fight Teo. And that's part of the reason why he won. And it was still a very close fight.
Let me say that George, I know that George is a good boxer because Teo gave him a lot to exploit and he exploited it because he's good enough to exploit it. But let's be real. The only reason you won was because Teo gave you a lot to exploit. Normally, he don't fight that way. He don't come out there throwing them dumbass punches that can be countered. He don't normally do that. So that's really why he won. And I've always maintained the reason he came out like that is because he wanted to knock this guy out in a hurry and go to the hospital.
Exactly. Teal fought the whole fight like he just wanted to land one shot and go home. That was it. And
right,
like,
and that's what he thought he was going to do,
and
he got caught.
At the same time, you're being outboxed, you're being countered, you're being outworked. Why are you still doing the same thing over and over again, round by round?
Yeah. His dad yelled at him after the first round, like, "What are you doing? Knock this guy out, yo! Do you
knock the fucking guy out?
Knock him out already!
Did you not see your son just got dropped in the first round, bro?
No. Wait, he said that was a balance shot though. That didn't count. So
Teal made 0 adjustments and then had a fit because he lost. It's like, well, if you're not making the adjustments, what do you expect?
The way it breaks down, Haney beat T.O. He has the style for it. T.O. is not no pressure fighter. He don't go out there just winging shots. He sets up knockouts off the counter. So T.O. has, at least I'll say, Devin has the right style to beat T.O. He has the right style. Is he physically strong enough to take a hard shot? That's the question.
Yeah.
Because like one thing T.O. did in one of his past fights is like he landed a beautiful catch and shoot. I don't know who he was fighting, but like
it was Comey, I think.
No, that wasn't Comey. It was another guy. But like the guy threw a punch. T.O. caught it beautifully and countered with a right uppercut and like really rocked his socks. So,
but here's the thing: Haney's longer than T.O. It's the same dynamic. Yep. T.O. needs to be close to him to hit him with shots, and he's not going to get around that jab easy.
Was it Campos?
Got to be Campos. Got to be.
Or Campos? Yeah, I think it was Campos that he.
It got to be Campos because that's the only fucking fight he had.
Hey, so is he gonna fight Barbosa or what?
Bro, he don't want nothing to do with that man. So I don't know, bro.
85 Pedraza? That's what I heard.
Bro, he better not because I'm like, look, I'll take Pedraza. Because I'm not picky. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not too picky. Like, look, Pedraza's okay. He just had a decent showing with Comey. He looked all right against Ramirez. I'll take it. But you do look like you ducking Barbosa if you fight him. Because Barbosa wants you. And y'all on the same side of the street. Why you can't fight Barbosa?
Hot Boxing says Tio's giving him major Fernando Vargas vibes.
He is, though. He giving me them vibes, too, though. He is like he like a live wire. And look, I hope nothing for the best for the kid, but being real, I just see that Devin has the style to beat him, and they know it. That like all that fly shit you be doing, you another one. You actually have more in common with Gervonta than people realize. You throw a little more than Gervonta, and you set up your knockout pretty good, but you work off the counter. That's what you do. You work off the counter. You wait to hit the guy with a shot that he don't see. The guy makes a mistake, he pays for it. Devin don't make them mistakes, man.
Not the Shakur.
That all that bullshit you hit compound, you not gonna hit. Nah, son. You fast.
It's like as the fight progress, like you fight Devin is like you fight Devin and Shakur is like you're looking to land one shot. Well, that chance never may come for you to land it, and as a result of that, you're losing rounds.
If you watch their knockouts, you can set your watch by their knockouts that it's a punch that the other guy doesn't see off the counter. It's a punch that the other guy that doesn't see that gets them out of there. That's how it always ends because that's what they're waiting for. They're both boxer punchers that have an affinity for counter punching. Devin is a pure boxer, bro. That dude is not going to go out there throwing no stupid-ass punches, bro. He ain't going to go out there throwing that bullshit that Isaac Cruz throws. I'll tell you that shit. Ain't no reason Isaac Cruz should have finished that fight on his feet, but he did. Why? Davis is not that good, dog. I'm trying to tell no, he not. Rolly winning rounds off the goddamn jab. Isaac Cruz is going to this. Nah, you not.
Jules, but you wanted something crazy? Like my dad, he's also an expert. My pops, I sent him. Who's the guy that Isaac Cruz knocked out in the round? It was on the Davis.
No.
It was on the Davis Santa Cruz on the.
No, I know the other dude. The other dude. I know
the Magdaleno.
I know.
I sent my dad that fight, and he just had one. He goes, "Son, I think Cruz has got a shot to win this fight against Tank." I'm like, "You serious?" Yeah, based off that, I like what I saw. And then he goes there and goes the distance. And keeps Tank on the back foot all night. So yeah, man, it's like
do you know why that is? Davis is B tier. Why is he B tier? You can work off the counter. There's two ways to work off the counter. Wait for the opportunity or create the opportunity. The A-level guys, the really, really good ones, they create the opportunity, like Mike. Mike was a pressure fighter that he'll show you the jab, but he's not really trying to hit you with it. He's just trying to get you to cover up. And once you cover up, he's going to go to the body. Right hook, right hook, right uppercut. You know what I mean? The real good guys, they're not going to wait around for a countering opportunity. They're going to do something to create one. They might put some throwaway punches out there, some decoys. They might condition you to protect yourself from a certain punch, like the jab, or maybe they feint with the right to get you worried about that so they can hit you with the left. The great guys, they create the opportunity. Davis is good. He waits for the opportunity because
That's
sooner or later the guys he fights are so bad they're gonna make a mistake.
That's part of the reason why it took him so long to get Rolly out of there. Aside from the fact that he was having trouble with the jab, he was waiting for Rolly so he could make the counter.
Mm-hmm.
I said this fight should have been over in 2 rounds, 4 max at the very most.
If you can't be what they saying you are and lose a fucking round to Rolly, bro.
No.
That would be like if Crawford went out there and lost the round to Mario Barrio.
Oh my God. That'd be awful.
Like, nah, son, that's not supposed to be happening.
It's okay. It's okay if Keith does it though, but if Crawford did that, oh my God, you know what I mean?
I'm saying, like, you ain't, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't like that. That's not saying that there aren't great fights out there for Gervonta, because there are. There are intriguing and great fights out there for him. There really are. My honest opinion, one fight that I would love more than Davis versus Haney or Stevenson or even Loma is Davis versus Tio, because I want to see which one of you two boys is good with that style. Which one of you are better with that style, because it's more similar than people realize. Davis rolls punches off the shoulder. He just does it out of the southpaw stance. Tio does it out of the orthodox stance. You're both counter punches. I want to see who's the better counter puncher.
I always say, I don't know why people don't talk. Well, at least it's probably too late now, but I don't know why people didn't talk so much about those two. Everybody talked about Ryan and this and Devin and that. Like, people weren't talking enough about Tank and T.O. fighting each other, man. I like that fight too.
They gave up. I think they gave up on that one because they knew. And even with these fights that are around now, none of that shit is gonna happen. But with T.O., I guess they saw the size of his, the chip that he had on his shoulder after he beat Loma, and they realized you're never gonna bring them both to the table. They'll never agree to anything. T.O.'s not gonna. T.O. after beating Loma is not gonna allow himself to be the B-side to nobody. With Devin,
you've never been on pay-per-view. You've never done any. You've never made that was like your career high purse. And it's like you do. I was even saying before the fight, I said, if T.O. wins this fight, if he beats Loma, he's going to get worse. If his ego was out of control now, it's going to get even worse if he wins this fight. And what happens?
Yeah. Like with T.O., I guess to Wave's point, the reason that we didn't see a demand is because people knew in the back of their mind, you're never going to bring them both to the table. They'll never agree to anything. You can't get them to agree. Whereas Devin showed us some man shit. I'll be the B-side because I know I can beat you. I'll go to your country. I'll sign a rematch clause.
Because I know I can beat you. I know
I can fucking beat you.
I give him his props, man, because he did what no other fighters are willing to do at this point.
That's why I pick him up all the time.
Because y'all, the deal that Devin took, I think that, the deal he got offered, I think it was, Georgia's team, they're hopeful. Oh, yeah, he won't take this shit. He won't sign.
That's what it was.
He won't.
That's really, to me, that's what they offered him well, let's be real. Let's not say that. They offered him the same deal that they offered Loma. We know Loma willing to make them sacrifices, so Devin took the deal.
But Loma always does that.
True.
Loma always does that. He accepts the deal. He don't really negotiate, and
he's got the mindset. He'll fight on the road. He don't care about traveling.
Yeah.
Real shit.
And the money, of course, he cares about the money, but it's not gonna be. It's not gonna kill the fight. The money is not gonna kill the fight for Lomachenko.
Exactly.
Hey, when is the Catterall Taylor rematch going down?
I think they said next year, early January. I think was the last thing that I heard. January.
It was pushed back. It was pushed back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's still on.
I still got Taylor.
Yeah, me too. But I think Jack will still have to work for it a bit though. But I got him too.
Look, I think what happened with Taylor and Cataract Casserole is the same thing that happened with Cambosos and Tio, except Josh is getting a rematch. That's all I see. To fam, I've seen you before. You ain't all that. You just caught that man at the right time. You like, I seen cataract. He not all that. Like, fuck out of here, B. Just caught that dude. That dude was coming off a knee injury or ankle, whatever shit. It was a lot of shit going on. I'm like, fam, this dude is not all that. You're not going to tell me that he not going to win that rematch. I'm telling you, he probably going to get knocked out. I'll be surprised. I would be shocked. I'm like, fam,
Is it true that Josh has a new trainer?
Yeah, he left Ben Davison.
Who's he with now?
I don't know, but he ain't with Ben.
Oh shit!
Now Sassoon Ben, he not with him no more.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, though?
It's a good thing, bro.
He's just tuned in.
Especially if he look. I tell you motherfuckers what. If he go back with Shane McGuigan, you better bet on Taylor because he was way better on McGuigan.
I'm saying you better go back to Shane. I don't know why he left him in the
better
first place.
bury the hatchet. You better bury it and go back to Shane because he was way better under Shane.
Right.
Ben over there playing with his hair and shit. Nobody got time for that shit. Like goddamn hair. Like, bro, you trying to look like Thor out here? What you doing? The fuck?
Jump Tube says Ben can't come into the USA. Is that true?
Well, it might be. You know, it's 160 people on the ban list. You know that.
Shit, man, that's crazy.
Don't forget about that. If Tyson Fury can't come into America, you think his former trainer can? No.
Right.
Motherfucking Savannah Marshall, the week of Taylor versus Serrano, she couldn't come into America.
What did she do?
Her too?
MTK. That's what I'm saying.
She on the list too?
I'm saying everybody else went. You had people flying in from Spain. You had fighters that I know from different fights. They all converged for that fight. Savannah was the only one that didn't come. She was with MTK. Don't you notice none of the MTK fighters could come into America all of a sudden? Taylor he can't come back here. Not right now.
That's some shit, man.
I tell you, yo, Daniel Kinahan, Killinan, Killer Cam, Kinahan, Killer Cam.
Dude, man, thanks for having me, man. I'm about to go get some rest, man. I'll see you.
I'll holler at you. Always welcome on the panel.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And I'm about to shut this stuff down because I'm fucking sleepy. You know what I'm saying? Kinahan, Killer Cam, Killinan.
I'll see y'all. Peace.
Have a good night, guys. Jules,
later,
night. Thanks for having me on.
Night, Joe.
Right. Yo, do we got any fights this weekend?
None. Zero.
Wow.
Damn, that sucks.
That
Let me check. Nothing until October 8th.
Oh, wait a minute. There's got to be a fight this weekend. Well, maybe UFC, something.
Isn't there? There's no fight?
I don't know. I mean, no boxing fights, but but man, I don't even know if the UFC is showing shit. That's crazy.
We have to go to bare knuckle or some shit.
Some shit. Like we been getting our boxing fixed like every weekend.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna watch a scary movie. Then fuck it.
Yeah. That's same.
I'll let y'all.
All right, man. Later.
Night, Joe.